Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to create virtual machines with VMware Workstation Pro or VMware Workstation Player. The Pro version is just more feature-rich version, so we're going to use that one today. If you don't have a license for that, you can just go ahead and create your virtual machine in VMware Workstation Player. When the program is open, let's go ahead and click on the plus sign and choose custom advanced because we want to customize our virtual machine as much as possible. In this case, click on next. Which hardware features are needed for this virtual machine? Well, how much RAM you're gonna dedicate to this? This is the max size of all the hardware that is that you can amp up your virtual machine with. I'm just gonna go ahead and choose this default version here. Click on next. In the next step, it says, how do you want to install your operating system? Do you want to do it now or later? I'm going to choose installer disk image file. Click on browse. Choose my ISO image of the operating system that I want to install on this virtual machine. Click on next. Next, I'm going to give this virtual machine a name, and I'm going to name it Win1123H2. The default location can be changed at edit preferences later if you want to. The location of this virtual machine and all the files belonging to it, we are going to store it. I have already created some folders here. I'm going to choose Windows 11 23H2. Click on OK and next. Next is gonna ask you how would you like to encrypt this virtual machine. Well, for me, I'm just gonna go with this default options. Only the files needed to support a TPM are encrypted. Yeah, or all the files. If you are creating this for an enterprise environment, I would advise you to choose this to encrypt all the virtual machine files. But this is just for the purpose of testing. I'm just gonna choose this one. So we are going to choose a password now for the encrypted for the files that are going to be encrypted. And next is going to have a check mark here. Remember the password on this machine in Credential Manager. Uh, yeah, no, not for me. I don't want to do this. So I'm gonna copy this and save it somewhere safe or like in a password manager app or something. I'm going to click on next. We are going to use UEFI and secure boot for this because this is Windows 11. Next, the specify the number of processor for this virtual machine, and it is I have quite a good processor, so I'm going to go with two there and 4 for the number of cores, so it's going to be total 8. I'm going to click on next. Next is going to go ahead and ask you for how much amount of RAM do you want this virtual machine to have. I'm going to give it 8 gigabyte of RAM and click on next. Next is going to ask you which kind of network do you want to set up for this virtual machine. I'm just gonna use the default. This is how virtual machine is going to go ahead and connect to the internet. Click on next. This is something I'm going to choose as recommended and default too. Click on next. What kind of disk do you want to create? I'm going to choose the fastest one, of course. That's also recommended by them. Click on next. Create a new virtual disk. Yes, please do that. Use an existing virtual disk. If you have that one, you can choose this. Or if you have physical disk like a hard drive or SSD specifically for this virtual machine, we are going just to create a new virtual disk here. Click on next. Next is going to be how much is going to be the size of this disk for this virtual machine. I'm going to put in 80 gigabyte. You can either allocate all disk space now. It's just gonna go ahead and give this virtual machine an 80 gigabyte of disk space from your physical SSD or hard drive. Uh, or if you leave this off by default, it's going to expand dynamically under the time that you're going to use your virtual machine. So I'm going to leave it off. Next, it's going to ask you, do you want to split virtual disk into multiple files or do you want to store virtual disk as a single file? I'm going to go ahead and choose a single file here. Click on next. Now it's going to tell you 180 gigabyte disk file will be created using this file name. Next, it's going to give you a summary of everything that you have done and configured this virtual machine, how it's going to look. You can even in the final configuration stage go ahead and add some other floppy drive which is very old. I don't know why it's there, or but you can add TPM, you can add network adapter if it's not already in the list, and other stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it as it is, and I'm gonna um, tick this, power on this virtual machine after creation, and click on finish. Now it's going to create my files for the virtual machines and it's going to power on this virtual machine so I can go ahead and install my operating system of my choice. In this case, it's Windows 11. So thank you very much, guys, for watching the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you like or learn something new. And I will see you in the next one. Ciao.